talk about eating enough, he was like, all right, you want to get bigger. Every night after your regular dinner, eat a rotisserie chicken.
Get the out of here. Dude, you're kidding.
Swear to God.
Rotis don't miss, baby. You heard it here first. Forget the sleep depravity, my raw butthole. You just made my day, dude. Welcome to the Coach 'Em Up podcast. My name is Tim Riley, and I'm super excited to dive into today's conversation. But before we do that, there's just a topic, a conversation that we need to have. A sit down, if you will. I get a look at the data, and so many of you watch and listen to this show, and honestly, it's incredibly humbling. I'm very grateful. Though it does appear that about half of you who listen and watch are unsubscribed. Now, there are two types of people in this world. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. For my subscribers, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for making the commitment. For our non-subscribers, you don't have to keep living life like this. There is a better way. Do the right thing. Make your friends, your family, your partner proud. Hit the subscribe button. It keeps the show free. It helps us out a lot. And you get notifications anytime we do cool shit with really cool people, which brings me to today's guest. And by the way, I don't want to butcher your last name. Can you say your last name as I make this introduction? How do I say it correctly?
I believe it's Aidala, but I'm not honestly sure.
Really?
Everyone says it differently.
Mike Aidala, everybody. Mike Aidala.
That's
Here we freaking go. Mike, man, thank you so much for coming down and joining me in this kind of toasty podcast studio.
Yeah, thanks
today.
for having me.
I was looking forward to the prospect of us getting a workout together. Mm-hmm. In fact, do you mind if I just do a little story time?
Please do.
I shared this with you briefly off air, but let's provide some color for the kind of condition I'm in today. Mike and I are not going to be able to work out. Part of the reason is what happened to me last night. See, something traumatic, tragic, something that might be relatable to some of you listening and watching. I was awakened last night at about 4 a.m. Hard to say what time specifically. It was still dark outside, by a pressure in my stomach. Now, listen, everybody, trigger warning. I thought it was a fart. And I can tell you with certainty that it was not just that. In short, I shit my shorts at 4 a.m. And turns out, now immediately this happens and I clinch and I jump right up and I move as quickly as I can with like this penguin waddle into the bathroom. So as
you knew,
I know the play. I'm not saying I shit my pants all the time, but I am saying it's not my first time. Okay. I'm just going to level with everybody. I get to the toilet and immediately I know that these shorts will never be worn again. I cash them in the trash can right there. First things first. And then I sit down and I just think it's important for the story that I paint this picture for you guys. Imagine what it would sound and feel like if you took about a gallon pitcher of water and just threw it into the toilet bowl as hard as you possibly could, because that is what happened. That is what happened over and over and over again. I was planted, cemented for at least 30 minutes. And then I did what any sane human would do. I took a full body shower before getting back into bed. I have not slept since. And that has not been, now, fortunately, I haven't shit my pants again. But it has been an ongoing, I must have eaten something. I feel fine. Mm-hmm. No temperature. I don't think it's like a stomach bug thing. Yeah. I must have just eaten a weird piece of broccoli or something. So anyway, I say all that to say, unfortunately, he and I are not going to be doing Turkish Get Ups together today. That would be tragic.
There's a lot of opportunity there.
There's a lot. So now that we have that out of the way and everyone is fully aware of my condition, by the way, just comment a poop emoji if I'm not alone. And don't leave me hanging here because I know it's happened to some of you as well. Be real, okay? Be an adult. Mike, now that that's out of the way, it's time for me to stop talking. I've embarrassed myself enough. I know who you are. I've been stalking your Instagram and it's been very impressive and exciting to learn more about you. For the people who don't know who you are, can you provide us a little bit of background? Sports growing up, how you got into coaching, how that's evolved for you over the years and what you're doing now. And then we're just going to delve into all of it.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. I played basically every sport growing up. My mom had this quote that I never met a ball I didn't like. And so the only sport I didn't play, which I actually regret, I grew up on the East Coast, and I played soccer and every sport besides lacrosse. And all of my buddies played lacrosse, and they were in that initial wave. I'm 36 years old, and they're just...
The lacrosse wave.
They're all going to Duke, like all these amazing schools, right? Johns Hopkins, Syracuse. I'm trying to compete in football. I'm like, yeah, great, picked the wrong sport.
You did.
I'm like, yes. Now for me,
because that would have been the time to get a scholarship for now. It's so competitive.
Oh yeah, now it's nuts. So anyway, I played football in college. But I started.
Where'd you play?
SUNY Cortland.
Okay, I don't know where that is.
It's a Division III school.
Okay.
They won the national championship 2 years ago.
Holy shit.
But it's upstate New York near
What
Syracuse.
position did you play?
Safety.
Oh, you're a dog.
It was fun.
Fuck yeah. Nice. We're going to get along great.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I started my strength and conditioning, though, in high school because I played quarterback and corner in high school.
Dude.
And I had to get bigger because they actually recruited me at middle linebacker. So like, oh, we'll take this guy who plays on the outside. I love being in space, like running, hitting people, catching the ball. We're going to put him in the middle. I was 190 at the time. And I'm looking at the roster, right? I'm like 245, 250. I'm like, I just see these guys, right? Like,
Yes.
What's a Blue Mountain State kind of idea? Just...
Yes.
Chin up, no smile style. And I'm like, dang, I got to lift.
I've got a way to go. Yes.
So I met this guy, Mark Chasnoff, who was an Olympic weightlifting coach. I had no idea what that was. And I go over to his house, and he's this, I believe he's Russian. And
Chasnoff sounds pretty Russian.
Yeah, he was.
It could be any of that, area.
Yeah. I mean, he was like my Mr. Miyagi. Like,
Got it.
We go down into his cold basement. There's just metal chairs, a blank platform, just bars hanging from the wall like samurai swords, and that was it. And like 2 posts to squat with, and then there's a bench. And for the first 2 months, all we did was just technique work with the bar. I didn't put any weight on for any of the Olympic lifts. We would squat and press and things like that.
Yeah.
But after 3.5 months, I gained like 35 pounds.
So this is a phenomenon. Some people will hear that and they'll say, no fucking way. How old were you at this time?
18.
There is something that happens that can happen with teenage boys specifically, who really start training for the first time and they're actually eating enough. I have seen that happen many, many times.
Oh, yeah.
I had a 14-year-old put on 23 pounds in 6 weeks. Straight up. I remember posting it and people being like, no way. I'm like, no, brother. It does exist.
Oh, yeah.
But you just have to have all the right elements.
Yeah, and I think there's some genetic components. Some people easy gainers, harder gainers.
Totally.
For me, it's really easier to gain weight. I gotta be careful with that. But talk about eating enough. He was like, "All right, you want to get bigger? Every night after your regular dinner, eat a rotisserie chicken."
Get the fuck out of here! Dude, you're kidding!
Swear to God.
Rotis don't miss, baby. You heard it here first. Oh my God. You just made my whole day, dude. Forget all the sleep depravity, my raw butthole, fuck all of it. You just made my day, dude.
Dude, every day. I went from not knowing how to clean and jerk to clean and jerking 315 rotisserie chicken every night.
Listen, there may not be a more anabolic compound on planet Earth than a teenage kid smashing a rotisserie chicken every night. You just made the whole show. Thank you, Mike.
We can leave now. That's it.
Let's wrap it up.
That's it.
That's incredible, dude.
It was great. Yeah. I mean, it really like cemented for me too, the importance of nutrition.
Yeah.
The importance of if I want to get bigger, stronger, I need to eat.
What a blessing that you were able to have that light switch. Because I had that moment too. It was way after I had an opportunity to compete in actual organized sport though.
Yeah.
I was like most kids. I was just like, I eat enough. And that's the classic thing. It's like, well, I eat a lot. And then the parents are like, oh, trust me, he or she eats. They eat us out of house and home. I'm like, no, they fucking don't. Not enough.
Right.
They may eat a lot, but it's not enough. Because if it was, they would put on weight.
Totally. Yeah.
Fascinating.
It's super fascinating. Food is super fascinating. I'm not like an expert in nutrition by any means, but I've gotten into some ultra endurance events later, and the importance of like food while you're running a 100-mile race.
Yes.
I call it a 100-mile buffet. Like you're just running and eating the whole
Smashing gels the whole time.
And honestly, at that point, anything. Whatever you can eat that doesn't have
Also,
to create what you
if
got.
there's an excusable time to shit yourself, it's during an ultra. Okay?
It's not great, but it's happening.
Well, you might not be a nutrition expert. You're definitely a rotisserie chicken expert.
Yeah,
That is incredible.
So
you put on all this weight. You have this transformation.
Right. So I'm headed in there. I think I got up to like 232. That was the heaviest.
Jesus.
But the downside to this at that time was I wasn't running as hard as I was before. So I was getting bigger, getting stronger, but I didn't know how to move that mass as well. So I'd have like little aches, little strains, little stuff like that.
Makes sense.
After that, I got really fortunate. The New York Jets came to my college for training camp. That's when their strength coach reached out to our strength coach and said, hey, we want an intern. And at the time, that was like my dream. I wanted to do combine prep. And so I wanted to go to Athletes Performance, Exos. And I was like, dude, this is amazing. I'm like banging on the door. We built this entire strength gym in the hockey rink. They just pull up with like 4 tractor trailers worth of equipment. They bring me on for training camp. They never had a strength intern before. So they were like, after a little bit of time, the head coach was like, oh, you understand, how to coach. Like, go teach like LaDainian Tomlinson, kettlebell swing. Go teach this, that.
Mike?
It was.
How old were you?
So fortunate.
You're like 19, this is happening?
No, I was 21. That was
Dude.
the end of my college career.
How grateful are you that you spent all that time in that basement with this Russian fella?
Well,
teaching you rigorously proper technique. I mean, that set the foundation. Do you feel like that played a huge role in your ability to be confident moving forward?
I think what it really did, he had this stick and he would just beat me with it into different positions.
You're fucking kidding, dude.
So what it would be is I would learn the detail of tension.
So you're like in the bottom of a snatch and he's like, pause. And like, you're not extended enough and he's just like whacking you in the middle back.
I wish I could. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Were your parents paying for you to go into this Russian man's basement so he could beat you with a stick, dude?
Yeah.
We
were all paying.
He's like, do not come back unless you eat the whole rotisserie chicken.
Well, he would make a protein shake after, and he was a massage therapist, so his hands were like mitts, and he would just be like, ice cream, raw dog ice cream with the bare hand.
No way, dude.
Oh yeah, chalk and everything.
He was playing with chalk.
Oh yeah.
So he's
some Bengay on there.
So I'm just seeing like a gallon of Blue Bell, and he's taking his raw ass hand with chalk on it.
Oh.
And then he's like, "You're gonna drink this."
Of course.
That is honestly the coolest story I've ever heard on this show.
It was great. It was great. That's what got me into coaching.
Holy fucking shit. So it wasn't just the rotisserie chicken. It was this guy's anabolic Russian fucking raw hand blasting into the ice cream. And then that fucking ice cream scooper. First of all, time out. Do you know how insane it is to take a frozen block of ice cream and just scoop it with your fucking fingers?
He was built different, man. He was built different. I mean, you come in, he's trying to teach you the bottom position to the lift. You don't even get to pick the bar up off the ground before he's like knees, back, chest. You're in there, you're like, fuck, I can't lift this bar.
Fighting for your life.
Oh yeah. But back to your question, that did teach me detail.
Yeah.
The detail orientation. And that is, when I was working at that level, like it's all attention to detail. You're working with a lot of expensive products there.
Exactly.
And so you need that attention. So I was, extremely fortunate to learn that. I didn't know that that's what I was learning at the time per se. And
you're not kidding the Mr. Miyagi thing. I mean, really.
Yeah. Totally.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, so after that.
What was his last name again?
Mark Chasnoff.
Shout out Mark Chasnoff, honestly.
Yeah.
And I hope you're out there somewhere still scooping ice cream with your raw berry.
It probably is.
You're an animal.
Yeah.
What a badass. All right. So you have your college football experience. It culminates into the fucking Jets, having an opportunity to intern with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
What do you learn during this time? Are there some things that you like? Because I know my experience. It was like, okay, like working with pros, I had an idea in my mind of like what that is and what it means and what it looks like. And then there was the reality. And they were two very different things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any things, was there a thing or multiple things that jumped out to you that sort of challenged your preconceived notions around what it was like to work with athletes at that level?
Yeah, I don't know if I had I didn't have a lot of experience before that. It was just
Sure.
I was learning all of these things in school, reading them on the side because I'm interested in it.
Right.
But the biggest thing I learned is people are people. Like we're all people and we want to get better. And the thing to answer your question, not everyone likes the gym.
Big facts.
And I didn't know that because I didn't think about that because I loved it. And in college, a lot of my teammates loved training.
Yeah.
And then you're working with professionals. They don't always want to work out.
No.
And they have to. Otherwise, they'll pay a fee.
It's a means to an end.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the thing that surprised me, I think, the most.
Yeah. Okay, so you have this experience, and then what happens next for you?
Mm-hmm. So 2 years I worked with the Jets, and then from that, Kyle Thorne was the assistant coach. He used to work at Athletes Performance out in California, and I was like, "That's what I really want to do, Kyle. Can you please somehow help me out there?" And he was like, "Of course." So interned out at Athletes Performance for the NFL Combine Prep.
Hell yeah.
And so that was awesome. I mean, that was 9 guys in this one house, all working with like this draft class. I mean, it was all time. It was electric.
Ultimate locker room vibes.
Ultimate locker room vibes. Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah.
But that facility was great. Like they did a lot of NFL offseason too after that, which was cool. That was Julian Edelman was coming up at that time.
Wow.
And so I was just telling the story the other day. That was before I think he was going to the Patriots, and he'd have this like laundry list of things that he needed to do from Tom Brady. Okay. And I'm out there, throwing him a bunch of balls, like 20 balls here, 20 balls here, 20 balls here. And the phone would ring and he's like, "Excuse me, Mike." "Tom?" "Yes, I'm tucking the ball every time." Yep. I'm keeping eyes on it. Yep. No drops. Correct. Yep. Okay. Thank you."
You're kidding.
And I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "That's Tom." And I'm like, "Oh, dope." But his attention to detail as such a young, as a coming up athlete was so cool to see.
That is what an awesome fucking story. It's what's impressive to me is because, Tom Brady's attention to detail and control over the offense is legendary. And the fact he was calling Julian to make sure he was tucking the ball on his practice catches, after a workout, is fucking wild to me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And incredible, frankly. I mean, how cool is that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful to be around that environment where he's living at Manhattan Beach, coming from, I think, Iowa, and die hard. Every single step he's taking is calculated. Every single thing he does is calculated, and seeing how people can work at the highest level.
Yeah.
And then even with, I know the combine prep stuff, as a young coach, the attention to detail with the eye as guys are running their 40-yard dash and they're coming back how does it look? The first time it's fast as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I don't know. You're fast, dude. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
But then your eye starts to slow down and you're like, well, that 6th step, the shin angle is a little this, little that. And you're able to start to see things in a different pace. So I was very grateful to learn how to watch all of those movement mechanics at that age.
Yeah. Wow. What an awesome opportunity. So all this is all before the age of 25.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. How old are you now?
36.
Okay. We're about the same age. I'm 35.
Cool.
After your experience there, what happens next in your career?
I moved back to New York.
Okay.
Manage a strength and conditioning facility.
Okay.
High school, college, no professional athletes, a lot of general population. But while I was kind of in those worlds, especially out in California, I really started to fall in love with what I call the walk from the field house to the weight room. So especially for the combine work, we're heavy focus on the field work, the jumping, the running, less on like the bench. And so we do the speed stuff first. And then as we're walking back in, I'm talking with some of these, college athletes who are getting drafted like later or going undrafted. And so like their lives, this is like their moment.
Yeah. A lot of anxiety.
Yeah. But I love having that conversation and learning about them more interpersonally. And so that's where I start thinking more of this mindset stuff. Like what impact can I really make? And then when I'm managing the strength and conditioning facility in New York, it's high school athletes, it's regular people. It's all that time between the sets and reps. And don't get me wrong, I love training hard. I love getting bigger and faster and stronger. And I love having those conversations in between. And I've started to recognize that's my special sauce. Like that's where I want to dive more into.
Was there a particular moment or a particular conversation that had a really profound effect on you where you had a light bulb moment? Or was it like a culmination of a lot of these conversations where you began to see that you were able to have the kind of impact because what I'm hearing when you say that is like, I'm with you, first of all, by the way. The running, the jumping, the getting hype with the boys, sign me the fuck up. Love all that shit.
Yeah.
However, after you do enough of that, it does become Groundhog Day. If that's all you're in it for. It's so much more meaningful and so much more impactful when you get an opportunity. And people throw around the term building relationships or getting to know people, or what's the other cliche? It's like no one, what is the fucking...
No one cares what you know until they know you care.
Yes. And it's like there's a lot of truth in that stuff. Sometimes the way all that is packaged feels like a little like almost like a sales pitch to me, which I don't love. But anyway, I've always found myself naturally gravitating towards, I'm interested. I want to know more about you and your experience. And I think my own life experiences have shaped me that way because I can see how my mindset and the way I showed up in the past, how it either helped or hurt me. And how important having those conversations are and tackling those things when it ultimately comes to performance. So yeah, was there a specific moment in time, or was it like the culmination? And like, when did you know that like, this is it?
Yeah. So there was a couple moments. One specifically, an athlete came in, they're in high school. I could just tell something's off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, what is the ultimate best thing I can do for this person now? Is it to like, just give them space to talk about whatever it is they're going through, just like double the workout and like make it extra hard so they don't have to feel those feelings?
Stuff it down deep.
I opted for the first one. I was like, hey man, you want to just go for a walk? And we wound up walking for the entire session around the building. Just broke up with his girlfriend. Like, started to cry. Never cried before. Never had anyone that he could communicate with. In that way. And I was like, this is great. Like, and afterwards, he was like, that was the best session I ever had. Like, thank you. And so I think coaches, like, to be a great coach, you have to really care. You have to like really give a fuck. And
so much about being a good coach, from the interpersonal stuff down to programming, down to attention to detail, can be encapsulated in you fucking give a fuck.
Yeah, that's it. That's like, I mean, if you have that, you can learn all the other stuff. But if you just have this other stuff and you're like a 100% science bro, you're not going to be a great coach. You have to understand people. And so, not that I'm saying I understand all people, but I'm very curious like you are. And I love sharing the experiences that I have because I know how they've made me feel, either good or bad. And I want to impart any of that on someone else because I want people to feel good and try to avoid some negative if they can.
What about that do you think was so impactful for you? Like, I know for myself, I was often that kid who needed someone to take a walk with them. And even if someone did offer that, I was so trained to to not let any emotion show, to be stoic. I could never let anyone know what I was actually thinking or feeling or going through, because if I did, I would be too vulnerable, and it always backfired. You know, and I learned a lot of that from my just family dynamics. Okay, we've really come a long way from me shitting myself at 4 in the morning. But I needed that. And I remember the first coach who really was able to make an impact on my life and was that person that you were for that young man.
Mm-hmm.
And how I can look back now and see how it fundamentally altered the course of my life. And this conversation does come up frequently on the podcast and with coaches who have frankly been successful for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it's this idea of emotional intelligence and how important it is when it comes to not only like success in the traditional sense, but like having a life that actually has a sense of purpose and meaning and connection. And because, you know, again, there have been periods of my time where I show up and I just do the thing and I check the box and I leave, and maybe financially I'm okay, but I'm not happy.
Yeah. So the place that I had that facility, I was managing that facility, was in Westchester County, New York, which is just north of the city. And a lot of my clients were finance guys who would take the train to the city. So I saw a lot of examples of people having a lot externally and really struggling internally. And I started to ask myself the question, like, what is a good life? What does it mean to be living well? Because I see, you know, like, is a bigger bench press like gonna give you more confidence, or is it gonna build a physical shield around something that you're scared to express?
A lot of strength coaches listening to this having a hard time. Just had a hard swallow on that one. Maybe more than most industries. Okay.
I mean, listen, I'm there too. I'm there too. I get it. I just had to ask myself, why am I doing the thing that I'm doing? And what is my ultimate goal? And is it pushing me towards that direction or not? Doesn't mean you can't do it. There's a lot of worse things to do than build a tremendous chest. You know what I mean? Like, but just understand
strength is never a weakness, boys. Remember that.
Exactly. Weakness is never a strength.
Unfortunately, that also applies for your mental, emotional well-being. So,
It does. I mean, that's like, you're hitting on something that really is a thread in my life, which is, I call it now emotional fitness, because it's difficult. It's uncomfortable. But just like regular training can be, like, you don't always want to show up at the gym. You always want to do what's on your program, but you do it, you feel better afterwards, you get stronger, you adapt to it. It is the same in the emotional realm. It's just not as black and white to see, I've gotten stronger emotionally. And so then we don't put as much weight to it. And that's some of the work I do now as mindset coach, is help kind of put some markers in place and tracking in place to see, wow, I am actually more intelligent in terms of the way I can express things that are truly important to me.
So let's get into that. By the way, I've frankly many years of, I'm sober, many years of therapy. I mean, a lot, right? Worth every fucking penny. And one thing I can tell you is learning how to operate in the gray and be okay with that and accept it.
Yeah.
Acquired taste.
Yeah.
Okay. But that brings us to like the main thing I'd love to discuss with you, apart from, the fact you're a world record holder. We'll get to that. Is the mindset, the mental performance coaching. And your company is called The Offense.
The Offense.
The Offense, not offense as in offensive. The Offense, sure. So your experience, I'm assuming, prompts you to start this company.
Right.
Yes?
Yeah.
Can you take us through kind of actually like what it was like to launch that company and do something that, frankly, in the performance space, and this is 10 years ago you launched this?
Yeah, longer than that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not a time when that's necessarily sexy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now it's much more widely accepted, recognized, encouraged, prioritized.
Yeah.
Still some stigma there. Right?
Sure.
But when you started this is kind of a courageous act you're doing to kind of step out, and because, particularly, at least in my experience with working with mostly male athletes in the NFL space, like it's tough. So I'd love to hear what your personal experience was like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. What was it like in the early stages trying to build this thing?
Yeah.
And then I'd love to get into some of the actual practical hands-on lessons that you've learned working with people.
Okay. I also have ADHD, so I'm going to go one question at a time.
100%.
They, in the beginning, Well, I think, but real quick, I want to just tap on what you're saying, where it's difficult with athletes, especially male, like type A driven, like macho athletes, because if you go to that gray or dark space, it's scary that you don't come back out of it. You're like, I've been there before. I don't want to go back there, so I'm just going to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah.
Versus living what I would call an offensive, action-driven life where, cool, I can handle those things. I can build strength there, that I can dip into that, listen to someone, talk to me about something that's emotional or negative or whatever, and it's not going to pull me down. I have enough strength to come back out of it.
So you're saying avoidance and being defensive probably isn't a winning strategy.
I mean, you tell me. You tell me.
I mean, the name now makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because if what's being implied through the name is that to face these things head on and to be proactive
Exactly.
is a much more productive, sustainable way of living and performing, then that has been my experience unequivocally.
Yeah.
And it takes the funny thing is like, I think what my experience has been initially, it's never not scary. Even with the library of experience that I have that shows if I confront this conversation, this feeling, this thought, this interaction, the sooner I'm able to take action on it, the more free I am from the anxiety of trying to avoid that thing and whatever thoughts, ideas, perceptions I have, real or not, surrounding and encapsulating whatever that thing is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And for every second, and here's been my experience as well, for every second that I avoid the thing, insert the thing, and I guarantee you, if you're listening and watching this, you've got a thing, you're avoiding it.
In a relationship.
Yeah. Yes. To the precise extent that I delay that, I squander the hours I could be working towards moving past it and getting back to enjoying life or being my most authentic self.
And it's the same with athletics. You have a nagging injury, you have a weakness, an imbalance. The more you put that off, the longer it's going to take you to become the best athlete that you can be.
Yeah. The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Eleiko.
Let's go.
Not only is Eleiko found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts, you name it, Eleiko's got you covered. Go to eleiko.com/coachemup and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet. Zach, what's the best training app on the planet?
It has to be Train Heroic. Gone are the days of sending the old crusty PDF. Now we have a sleek new app.
It's easy to use. There's videos with descriptions. You get to track and log your weight, your reps. There's a community chat function. You can submit videos. You can get feedback.
How about the leaderboard, Tim?
I started using Train Heroic first as an athlete and someone who wanted to learn. Now I use it as a coach. Athletes and other coaches can go and be a part of my training community and get results.
Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just like to train, use the link in our description to find out how you can train on the best app in the world.
And join us on Train Heroic today.
Okay, so you asked me the
offense. How do you...
offense versus defense. How'd it start?
Yeah, how'd you start it?
Yeah, so I started... This is important, I guess, to understand. That facility that I was managing, we were going to expand. We were going to move into other facilities. And at the time, I was young 20s. I was like, this is great. I'm going to get like a BMW. I'm going to buy a house. Like,
fuck yeah.
I'm going to like get some money. Like, sick.
The stuff.
And I started learning more about, at that time, what was called like holistic living, like lifestyle coaching. I studied with a guy, Paul Chek.
Oh yeah, I'm Paul Chek, baby.
And so,
we have very similar timelines. It's
really?
About the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of Paul Chek functional medicine stuff. I had a bunch of health issues. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, same. So I was trying to learn how to solve some of those things. And I read this book called The Art of Nonconformity. And that book illustrates a unconventional graduate studies program where it's like, you want to learn things, you're a curious person, save up some money, travel the world and go learn those things. Create your own curriculum, get experience, get knowledge, then come back and do whatever it is you want to do. And that was tricky for me to understand at the time because I lived what I would call a lot of shoulds. I should be a GA. I should have more money. I should create this family. I should all blah, 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 whatever. I was like crippling with all the things I should do.
all over yourself.
All over yourself.
Which again, I'm glad this theme keeps coming back up. Yeah. Don't should yourself at 4 a.m. Keep going.
No. So I wanted to get my poop in a group and not continue that. So I left. So that was a hard conversation. Like one of many that I've had that before that point in my life, where I had to tell these guys who owned the facility and who I was pushing to, start this new spot. I really want to do this graduate studies program. They're like, what program? I'm like, the one that I'm making up. They're like,
what the fuck are you talking about, Mike?
Okay. I mean, to their credit, they really supported me.
Okay.
And that was cool. Like they were like, yes, this sucks. Yes, we had these plans. And at the end of the day, we want you to do what's best for you. And so I was like, cool. I mean, I thought about that conversation like a million times before I had it. And but it was great. I took the little money that I had, bought a one-way ticket to Costa Rica, traveled around to a few different places. That's its own podcast in itself. But essentially, what I learned was just to trust myself. Like if I'm putting, sounds a little cliche or corny, but if I'm putting like goodness and love out into the world, I'm going to receive that back. And I just kept getting that reinforced. So then I came back and then I taught yoga for a long time. I got into yoga, just trying to study all these different ways of working with your mindset. And so like even to this day, like I'm in a graduate studies program now learning about positive psychology. And so I'm like always trying to get these exercises, these nuggets, these toolboxes that I can like build my practice.
Yes.
And then the analogy that I think will make a lot of sense to you is when someone comes into your gym and they want to get stronger, there's thousands of exercises they could do. Like you're probably not going to have them doing squats on a Bosu ball. You're probably going to have them doing something else that's proven to get them those results faster. It's very similar in the mindset space. There's millions of journal prompts, millions of frameworks, maps, models, but what are the ones that are like proven to actually work? So you're not wasting someone's time, making that more difficult for them to then trust that thing is going to help them, and then making it easier for them to dig in that gray or black hole of like, fuck it, I'm not going to do any of it. This shit doesn't work. So that's when I started learning all of those tools and applying them through private clients.
And throughout this practice, so, experience has been my great teacher. So I, like you, it seems, and arriving where you're at, had a little bit of an untraditional route to where I'm at. I'm a high school dropout. I didn't get sober to my mid-20s. I've got 6 college credits to my name, right? For all intents and purposes, if you were to just write my educational resume, in the traditional sense, at least, on a piece of paper, and look at it, you would say objectively, this guy should not be doing what he's doing, not qualified, right? On the other hand, if you took my experience from the time I started coaching till now, and you didn't look at that and you only read that part, almost unequivocally, someone would read that and be like, yeah, this guy is doing precisely what he's supposed to be doing. And the analogy I like to use that, sort of buys into my own bias around the topic is, would you rather have a brain surgeon who just got their, degree, right? Fresh out of med school, and they're going to perform brain surgery on you, or would you like to have someone who's performed 10,000 surgeries with all of the different...
Choice 2, please.
Right. I'll take 2. I'll take number 2, right? Now, ideally, I've got a mix, perfect world. Can I have an option 3 where... Right? But I am option number 2 in that. But I think what holds a lot of people back is feeling as though in order to have value, you have to be validated through some other form of learning other than lived experience. How have you navigated that? Because it sounds to me like, and that, trust me, I know you've done countless research and courses and mentors and right, but that's experiential as opposed to like this traditional background where it's like, what was your major in college?
Kinesiology.
Right. So you're not a psych major, yet here you are. You have this immense library of experience and bring value to so many people's lives. How do you reconcile that? Did that ever bother you? Did you ever struggle with that?
I focused on the part that you just said, bringing value to people's lives.
Yeah.
Period. If I can learn things and really learn them, not just like regurgitate them, but apply them to myself in most instances, then apply them to other people that are maybe my friends. Now I'm like, cool, this thing is proven. I'm reading some studies on it. I'm doing what I feel like is good research on it.
Yes.
Now it's helping you live a better life. Who cares if it's period. It's working.
Full stop.
It's working.
Full stop.
Let's just focus on that.
So much around my experience too. I used to over intellectualize everything. And what it was is my feeble attempt to try and control and try to understand everything. Because if I understand it, then I can control it. Right. At this stage of my life, I don't give a fuck. I don't need to know why something works. All I need to know is, does it work or not? Is it nice to know? Yep. But that's that gray I'm talking about. If there's a tool that I need and you're telling me this tool can get me from where I'm currently at mentally and emotionally, or how I'm showing up in a relationship with this, skill set, maybe it's not great, right? Introduce new tool. And I say to myself, well, how is that going to work? Why is it going to work? I'm already off the beam. If you're just demonstrating to me that it's going to make an impact, I'm willing now to take that leap of faith and I'm just going to implement it. And if it works, I don't need to understand why.
Yeah.
I'm in the outcome business.
Yeah. And I think that I am as well. I really resonate with that. And there are some people that need the other things too.
The reassurance.
So, I am curious. As a coach, I love saying one thing a million different ways. And I love the art of coaching, figuring out how to get buy-in. Some people will listen to me because of the experience I have or the things that they can see me do. Other times it's a little bit gray. And so, finding those questions that'll trigger the buy-in for them to then get them to do something that they might have never done before, like a gratitude practice. That's what I'm interested in. How to make something emotionally that'll help them emotionally cool and exciting, like a max power clean. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but trying to close that gap.
Yes. I'm fascinated to know, selfishly, this is a Tim question. After coaching for as long as I have, and by the way, anyone who's been a strength coach, but even if you've worked in the private sector, Gen Pop, you know that building relationships with people, it's a part of the deal. And oftentimes you're spending more time one-on-one in a engaged setting with these people than they are with their spouse, their children, or anyone else in their lives. So you learn a lot about people, right? As a coach, I've noticed that there are consistent themes, regardless of who the person is in front of me, that are just kind of like truths around what works for training. With you, I'm interested to know, what are some of the lessons you've learned or things that are presented to you again and again and again, regardless of population, that seem to be consistent threads more often than not with the people that you work with, regardless of their background, regardless of what it is that they do or who they identify themselves to be?
I think that you're hitting on it right there. Who they identify themselves to be. A lot of times, especially today versus when I started, social media is huge. There's a lot of people who are distracted, who feel that they don't understand what it is that they are meant to do in the world, that they're living a good life, even if they have millions of dollars in the bank or operating at the highest level, they still don't feel like it's enough.
Yeah.
And so that would be the most common kind of thread that I guess I would see. A common person I'll work with is they feel like they're operating at 60 to 80% of their perceived potential.
Yeah.
And things are good, but how can we get them to be great? How can we level up even better? And that's where a lot of my work at the offense is rooted in positive psychology, which is, regular psychologists like trauma, therapy would go below 60. This offense work is above 60 to 80 towards the 100. That. So things are okay. How can we get to the next step?
How much, I'm interested too, because they're threading the needle between identifying someone who perceives that and maybe it's not your decision to make, it's theirs, but the difference between this person who feels like I'm operating at 80 and it's just not enough and I need more, and threading the needle between like identifying that person who is maybe grappling with the fact they feel like they need more, but perhaps need to just be more compassionate with themselves and have a gratitude list. And
appreciate the things that they have.
Appreciate what they have. And listen, I think all of us can relate to that, at least on some level.
Yeah.
And can I explain a paradox that I've experienced in my life?
Please.
To that person, because I'm relatable.
Same.
The irony and the duality and the sort of juxtaposition is that when I'm feeling as though I could get 20% more out of everything, here's the irony. When I start spending more time practicing gratitude in my experience has been an action. It's been an effort, just like learning to love and understand a partner, right? And it's a growing, evolving thing. But when I'm prioritizing those things, that extra 10 to 20% ends up taking care of itself. And it's not like because I exerted more effort or because I did more or I tried to rip more out of life than what it was giving me. It just presents itself. And that may feel a little woo-woo, but that's been my God's honest experience.
I think what you're saying in other words is you're getting clear on your priorities, your values, and you're doubling down on Tim.
Yep.
And that is a lot of the work that I'll do. It's not adding more things onto someone's plate. They already feel time poor as it is.
Right.
More, okay, how can we remove things that actually you don't really value, but you're just doing, and insert things, action. I mean, on the offense play, you can't win in life if you don't score. You got to shoot the freaking ball in order to get it in the hoop.
Yep.
And so versus just constantly playing defense, letting life happen to you, reacting to it.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of courage to act on, to practice a gratitude journal.
Yep.
To practice having that conversation with your partner. Because I still have it today. And I think I always will have it. Just like I'll always walk up to a max lift and be nervous. What a gift.
Exactly.
I want
That's how you know you're alive, baby.
I want to have the butterflies and the shit, babe, I'm not totally sure how to have this conversation, but I can set it up in a way that creates a little more safety. Are you open if I just spitball? Can I just try? And if it's uncomfortable, we can come back to it, but can I try? Versus, I don't know how to do this, so whatever.
Fuck it.
Next.
Yep. I'm just going to add in 5 more benches, sets on bench today.
Yeah.
Yep. Drop sets, everything.
Right.
I think this is good. So there are some things that I pulled off your Instagram, some concepts that you proposed that I thought were really special. And the first being the difference between meaning versus mattering. Can you go into that a little bit and why you feel like that's such an impactful distinction?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that I'll talk to, I want more purpose. I want more meaning in my life. And I recently learned about this concept, just mattering. And when someone reaches out to me with more meaning, I'm like, well, where in life do you feel like you really matter? Where you're creating an impact. And what that does is it forces them to do something, to live their life, to take an action towards something that's valuable to them. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of these types of conversations start to filter back to what are your actual values. And I'll briefly share with you the way I like to help people define values, the things that helpful exercise.
Please, that's a wonderful thing to talk about.
Is based on the theme we're talking about, action. And so I think of them as activity values, how you're spending that time, that attention. And the exercise that I'll do, we can run through it super quick.
Let's do it.
Think about yourself 100 years from now on your deathbed. And you're looking back at your life and all of the people that you love and care about are next to you, your kids, your great-grandkids, your great-great-grandkids. And you're reflecting back from this moment on the podcast until then. Mm-hmm. And I crushed it. There's nothing that I would change. I lived an absolute perfect life for me. What would be the things that you did to lead to that answer?
Yeah.
So people think about it. And then I say, great, take all of those activities that you did, all those vacations, all that business stuff, all the money you made, whatever it is for you, and put into a couple buckets, like 4 to 6 buckets. And, my values are learning new things, quality time with friends and family, business and the impact that can create, quality time, health and wellness, and then peak experiences, or like flow states or states of awe. So for me, if any activity that I strive to do strives to land in one of those buckets, I'm not perfect at it by any means,
right.
but
You'll never rise above human, as my
that's the guiding star. And so no one has ever told me when I have them do that exercise, my value is watching TV. I'd never want to stop watching TV. And so I can't tell you how many TVs have come off the wall. And what people will say, Tim, is they'll say, well, TV is quality time. That's quality time with my partner. And I'll say, great. Is there anything else that you do together that feels more quality that you'd like to have more of? And oftentimes they'll say yes, but I'm not here to judge your values. If you think sitting down side by side with someone watching a show is quality time for you, awesome. If you rather like go for a walk after dinner instead of watch an episode, I bet that would build more connection. And so what I'll have people do then is look at their time. Okay, we have your 5 buckets. Let's overlay that with your current schedule. How much time are you spending outside of those buckets? That's all. That one hurts in the beginning. Oftentimes.
I bet it's fucking eye-opening.
Average is like 3 to 4 hours a day. Outside of your buckets, which the math that I'll do, and you have to fact check me on this rough math. I'm not a mathematician. But if you would say you sleep 8 hours a night, so you'll have 16 waking hours, maybe not last night, but 16 waking hours.
Yeah, I got a lot more. Trust me, I would have rather been asleep.
We'll say you got 16 waking hours to live your life.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're spending 4 of those doing things that you don't value, that is a fourth of your life. 3 months out of the year, you're doing things that you don't value. That's a lot of time. And so if you're dealing with things like lack of confidence or personal integrity or trusting yourself, no shit. You're doing things that are a complete opposite with what you feel like would be your best life. That's like, it makes sense why I don't feel as clear or purposeful or feel like I have mattering, because I'm not spending that time doing those things. So then we remove those things first as much as we can before just adding new things on.
This is similar to, this is just a pragmatic approach to improving your life.
I mean, that is, I got to keep it simple.
You have to. Occam's razor, baby.
You know what I mean? I love doing the weird, fancy, fun, awkward shit as well. It's fun. But at the end of the day, I want to set up boundaries and structures in my life that I understand. And so often I think we don't want that. And I didn't want that for a long time. I honestly want everything to be open and free and flow and have all the fucking options in the world. But that created so much strain and stress.
Isn't that interesting? The dichotomy between discipline and boundaries and these words that I think for many people who haven't had an opportunity to set and uphold those ideas around what your value systems are, your principles, what guide you. At least, and I'll speak for myself. My experience has been is that when I actually prioritize those list of things, the freedom I'm seeking, I actually attain. And the irony is that when I'm living away from my home base there, I actually feel completely dominated by the world and its people and everything, all these external things, because I have no sense of, I'm not operating from a place of authenticity or self. I'm being pulled in a million different directions. And it's impossible in my experience to live a life of mattering when I'm off the beam from all of those things.
It's impossible to live a life of mattering when you know what matters to you. Of course you're going to miss. So the analogy that I use, I think will resonate with listeners too, is if we never played basketball before, like we've never heard of the game basketball, and I bring us and 8 other of our friends to a blank piece of concrete on the ground, and I roll out a basketball and I say, play, have fun for the next hour. We're going to throw it at each other, kick it around. Right. I don't know, see who can punt it the farthest.
Right.
We're going to have fun, but we're not going to have the most fun that we could.
Yep.
Now, if I come and I paint lines on the ground, I put up goals, I separate us into teams, I put a shit ton of rules in place.
Yeah.
I penalize you if you break the rules. I have someone come and reinforce all those rules. Like I put time limits on. I put a ton of structure, a ton of boundaries within that game. But within that, we have a lot of fun because we get feedback.
Yeah.
We know what's allowed, what's not allowed. We can create that art within that structure. Yeah. And that's what I'm helping people do with their life, with the values. Those values are the rules of the basketball game. You can play within those. Of course, sometimes the ball's gonna go out of bounds. Yep. Sometimes you're gonna foul someone. That's part of it. But if you have that structure, you can track over time, am I improving?
Yeah.
That feedback is so important.
Well, and so I think let's talk about that a little bit. So being able to get some feedback around is my life improving? Am I happier? Am I feeling more, am I living a more productive, exciting life that I'm proud of? It's much easier to track progress in the gym.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's not quite so easy to track progress outside of it in terms of quality of life or mental and emotional growth. And I think the reason why, at least in my experience, has been is without taking the time to hold space and look and say, my God, actually, this is where I was 6 months ago, and the way I would have reacted, shown up, behaved, given a circumstance, and how I showed up under those same circumstances later are so drastically different. But because life gets busy and because it's so easy to get pulled off the beam and because we all face these things, it's so easy. And because it's not linear, right? Necessarily.
And it's internal.
Yes.
Like
how do you go about that though? How do you set up a system? And for me, I have people in my life who I am accountable to, who I can connect with on a daily and regular basis to bring me back to reality and kind of pull me out of my nonsense when it happens, as it does. Mm-hmm. How do you operate in that space?
Yeah, I mean, that's so important because if you hit a PR, you post that on the internet, you're feeling good about it just as is. You post it, you feel better.
Even more feedback, reinforcement. More feedback, all stuff. You don't snap at someone when you really want to. No one gives you a high five.
No. No one knows. You're sitting down.
It's like a year ago, I would have fucking, that guy cut me off in traffic. I'm pulling him out of the truck. But I didn't. In fact, I didn't even react today. No one cares.
Yeah. But actually people.
They do.
If you allow, you give them the chance to care. And I think that's what you're explaining that you do a good job at, is you have people that are close to you that you can call up and say, hey, I just had this win. Let me share it with you real quick. I wanted to get out of my car and blah, 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 but I didn't.
Yes.
Nice job. Keep it up. Okay, cool. And not that you need that external validation from people, but it is helpful because
particularly early on, right?
Yeah, for sure. But even tracking, I mean, that is a lot of work I'll do with clients. It's like, you want to have this conversation with your partner. Okay, how do you want it to go? You're a little fuzzy when those conversations come up. What could be a tool that you could use? Like, I'm not in the answers business, but more in the questions business. So I'll ask people, and people are smart, man. Like, we have thoughts. We just don't always get asked the questions to bring those thoughts up. And so we can feel like we're not smart and we don't have the tools. But in that instance, it could be writing things down. Like, cool. Make a bullet list of the things that you really want to share, really are really important to you. And then as you're having that conversation, if you're starting to get fuzzy, you're starting to check out, say, do you mind if I check my list?
Yeah, let me regroup.
I took time to focus on writing these things. This conversation is so important to me. I just do not have all of the skills at the moment to stay engaged with it.
Yep.
That will bring whoever you're talking to right closer to you. It'll build the relationship that you want through that vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll feel good about it too, because unless you feel like you're expected to just be a perfect communicator with no practice, then that's going to be a more difficult conversation.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring that up, because that was a toxic trait I navigated that I didn't even know that I was up against most of my life. I expected myself to be good at all of these things with no evidence to prove that I am or ever was. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, when it comes to making these changes, having either a therapist or in my case, a sponsor or both in place that I can be open and vulnerable and honest with, being completely honest with someone, anyone, my God. What happens in the beginning is I get that reinforcement, I get it. And then something really special happened to me where I didn't need the validation externally to continue to engage in the behaviors or make the right choices over. My life improved so much, and my quality of life improved so much, and my relationships improved so much, that what I learned is that I want to make the difficult, air quotes, the difficult decision. Of course, the irony being that, like, it's not actually the difficult decision. It's facing it head on is the easier, softer way. I just like to tell myself avoidance and, you know, or taking the actual easy way out, which is to be emotionally irregulated and show up however the fuck I want. It's everyone else's problem. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like training or just health in general. Like, yeah, you can't eat McDonald's every day. You're feeding that desire to be fed, but you're going to pay for it later down the line. Yeah. Versus making what you're saying is the easier decision to train now, take care of yourself now. It doesn't always feel easier in the moment, but long term, it's what's better for you. Yeah. And after you start doing that, you start to recognize a good life is hard. Like, you want the challenge. That is where you grow and where you actually feel that you matter. If things were super easy and you had no challenges in life, that'd be actually like a psychologically really damaging life. Yeah. But yet that's a goal, is to make things so much easier versus building the strength to handle the hard stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Having capacity.
Perfect.
This episode is brought to you by friend of the show, David Gray of David Gray Rehab, creator of the absolute game-changing foot, ankle, and Achilles program. To date, it's helped over 8,000 people, including Zach and myself, get back to running, jumping, and playing pain-free. This program isn't just for athletes. It's also been used by coaches and physios in the NFL, NBA, and Premier League, as well as every other major sport. And if that wasn't impressive enough, you can get the full program 15% off lifetime access when you click the link in the show notes and use code TIM at checkout. I want to shift just because it is something that I'm so excited to talk about, because I can conversate with you about this all day long. And truly, this has been one of my most enjoyable podcasts in a while. It's not often that we get to tread and spend this much time in this side of things. So thank you. It's been wonderful. And we're not done yet, folks. So Mike, you did something pretty fucking cool. You know what I'm going to say? Cool. Well, we're going to talk about people who don't think it's so cool also. So let's start with what it is that you did. You set the Guinness World Record for the Turkish Get Up. And it was 255 pounds, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, yep.
So first of all, holy shit, man. I mean, that is pretty fucking incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's being able to do, chasing after something impossibly hard, no matter what it is. In my experience, the lessons you learn along the way are worth that in and of itself. Period.
That is
the journey. So with that statement, and it feels like you're in agreement there, my question, and I think maybe a lot of people are wondering, is why the fuck did you decide I'm going to break the world record for the Turkish Get Up?
You ever ask someone, hey man, who hurt you? Who
yes.
hurt you? I feel like that's what you're asking me.
Yes, I am a little bit. Yeah. Who did this?
Yeah. Why? truly, it is the first thing that you started with. It's a fun movement for me. I have a lot of interesting strengths that Turkish Get Up will play into. I love a puzzle, period. Like I love curiosity. I love trying to figure stuff out. And so for me, it is really hard to do just like this in the gym, just like a squat program for 8 weeks. Like that's the most challenging thing ever for me to do. I'll do it if I have a bigger goal in mind that matters to me and I can allow it to matter. I can allow myself to care. And for some reason, I just liked the challenge of the Turkish Get Up.
Yeah.
So the story goes, I was in this ultra endurance phase. I just finished running this 100-mile race in Leadville, Colorado. And I was like,
You completed it.
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Second to last place, but
Who gives a shit, dude? Who cares? Fuck that. A completion in that race, big win. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that's that was a tough one. Yeah. So did that lead challenge, which is there's a bunch of races in Colorado. So I was doing a lot of endurance work, marathons, ultra marathons, mountain bike ultra endurance races. Finished with that 100-mile race. After something that outputting on your nervous system, you're in the blues for a little bit after, and you're like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? I'm a strength and power athlete, but I wanted to try something that I was not good at and work towards. And then I started doing some like odd object stuff. So I have some history with hand balancing, handstands, and then partner acrobatics. So like lifting people up. It's not cheerleading, but it's basically Olympic weightlifting with people.
Nice.
So it's really, people are more fun to lift than barbells if you know how to do it. And so I would do Turkish Get Up with my friends or with a salt bike or a rower, just all these random things. I was like, I need
You're just fucking around having fun, dude.
Whatever. And then I saw this guy, Guinness posted a world record for Turkish Get Up. And it was 177 pounds. I'm like, I've done more than that. Let's see what this gets to, because I feel like a couple people could break that.
Yes.
I have some Lithuanian, Russian friends I converse with on the internet who are really into that type of thing. So I'm like, let's see what one of them throws out. One of them threw out a 200-pound Turkish Get Up.
Okay.
And that was around holidays. And I was like, cool. I'm probably around that at that point. Let me put some effort in here and do another world record. So a couple years prior to that, had set a world record for the Turkish Get Up for the most weight lifted per hour.
Oh, fuck. That sounds miserable.
Miserable. Yeah. The single rep wasn't a record at that point. So that was the one that I chose to do for a bigger reason. I like linking some of these records or events with things. That one was, both of them actually, for veteran mental health and suicide prevention.
My God, what a wonderful. Fantastic.
Yeah, my grandfather died by suicide. I feel like people hold things in. Sometimes they don't understand. They don't have the tools to get them out.
100%.
So unfortunate events can happen. So I want to use some of the strength and bring awareness to that. And so I had some experience with doing the record, like setting it up and how it could go. And I was like, great, I'm going to do another one, raise some money for this organization, Mission 22, and then put it on the calendar, see what happens, have an event, put myself out there. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And then February 22nd was the day that I went for it. And in my head, I was like, the record was 200 pounds. And I knew I had done more than that in training. I was fairly confident I was going to beat the record, but I really wanted to hit something that I was proud of.
Right.
And so to me, that was a PR. I wanted to hit a PR. And what I didn't expect was that there would be like 100 plus people there watching me very close while I'm doing this like, pretty challenging, like long focus required lift.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. We chat about that. But yeah, it went well. I hit 255.
Dude, you didn't just break the world record. You fucking obliterated it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a significant increase from the world record. 55 pounds.
Yeah, it's like 25% plus increase.
Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
Leave
no doubt. Yeah, I mean, good Lord.
I mean, at first when I started training for it, I was like 2 plates. I'm like, that would be legit.
Yes.
I'll be able to tell my son later when he understands what that means.
When you woke up that morning, you were like, I'm going to get 255?
250 was the goal I wanted to get.
Got it.
That was my goal. I hit 242, 110 kilos. put 4 in training.
Yeah.
But I was like, on the day of, a little extra, like,
Yeah, you got people watching.
We'll see what happens. I'm like, I could probably squeeze it out. I mean, the lunge is the hardest part for me because my shoulder stability from all of the hand balancing, that's solid. But the lunge, it's like a dead stop, one arm, same leg, overhead lunge.
Fuck.
I'm like, if I get up from the lunge, I'm good.
You've got it.
Because I would, there's no guidebook for setting the Turkish Get Up World Record. I'm like, all right, how can I get comfortable doing this movement?
Yeah.
And so I would overload it. So I would do, I'd hold 300 pounds overhead and do reverse, the get down.
Oh.
And so I was like, cool, I can do that. I know if I get up with something, I'll be able to finish it through because Guinness sends you a bunch of guidelines you have to follow.
Okay.
And you had to control it all the way down to the very end. You couldn't just like kind of get down and flop it.
Okay.
So that was like the trickiest part.
Damn. How long did the training process for this take? Because you were already kind of doing it, right?
I was doing it with like shopping carts and shit. And then I was like, okay, let me put 3 months into this.
Yeah.
But I had to build back a lot of strength. So I did that endurance stuff for like a couple of years. And then
shit.
I lifted with one of my buddies and he's always been the endurance guy. He got me into endurance work and we're like the opposites. I've always been the strength guy. So we were like power cleans for one of his workouts and he beat me in a power clean. And I was like, I never have failed since I was 18 at 250. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? And then that trip, that trip rotisserie chicken Mike, and I was like, fuck this.
That's it. I'm hopping back on the rotisserie chicken.
100%. I went from 205 to I got up towards 235 and got really strong. But my first front squat was like 275.
Yeah.
And I was like, gosh, I feel so weak. But I also didn't because I thought, well, what is I hadn't front squatted in a couple of years before that.
Right.
So like, no shit.
275 and after a few years, not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, for me in my head, I'm like, I've done 4+. I'm like, I got to I'm not half, but around half. I'm like, fuck. So, but it was fun. It was honestly so fun because every workout I got so much stronger.
Yeah.
Because so I actually wound up becoming the strongest I'd ever been in the gym with different lifts.
Fuck yeah.
And I like the odd object, like the heavy farmer's carries or yokes or any carries I'm a big fan of. Mm-hmm. We could nerd out on that. But the 225 was the goal. And then closer to it, 250. But I had to rent this scale. It's like we had to get it certified and calibrate and all this stuff to,
legitimize
show it was legit.
Yeah.
And the plates that we had were kilo plates. Mm. And from my Russian background, I was familiar with kilograms. And but the guys who were loading my plates were not as familiar. And so they put on 255. So it went on the scale. I thought it was 250. I hit like 135, 185, 225. And then from there, I was like, okay, I probably have like 1 or 2 more attempts because the whole lift takes a minute. It's intensive in that type of way. And I was like, let's just go for it. Like,
fuck it.
Put 250, put it on. I talked to the crowd. I got them all hyped up.
Yeah, hell
like,
yeah, dude.
You can do it. Like, it was that lift specifically. You got to you can't just grip it and rip it. Like you have to, there's so much precision with it.
Yes.
That it's tough because inside I'm like, bro Mike is coming out and like technician Mike has to be there too.
Yes.
So anyway, it was 255. I thought it was cool. I wanted like a clean number. Mm-hmm. I didn't want like 252 or 256. Like,
right.
255 to me, I was like, that sounds
good.
Let's do that one. That's the right answer. Put on some Molly Crew and we hit the lift.
Let's go, dude. How awesome is that? Yeah, what are some of the things that you learned from setting your mind to this, to training for it, to finally accomplishing it? What are some of the big takeaways for you?
I think it reinforces letting myself like something that I like. I mean, I come from a pretty traditional strength and conditioning background. Like Turkish Get Up is not necessarily a lift that I would program for athletes.
Right.
And so I like in the back of my head, I like kind of get some of the criticism that I could be perceived as receiving from that.
Yeah. But
at the same time, who cares?
My thing is like, what? So here's the thing about the criticism. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but because you doing that it's not like you're making a statement saying, like, you're not a Turkish Get Up, you're not the spokesperson for the Turkish Get Up and like the propaganda arm of Turkish Get Up, you know? Like some of the reactions I've seen, like I saw Mike Aidala did a reaction to it. Look, Mike's been on the show, friend of the show, Mike's great. But like some of the criticism, it just feels a little absurd. I mean, like, what the fuck? The guy said, I'm going to break a world record, and he broke a world record. He didn't say everyone has to do a Turkish Get Up or else you're an idiot and you're never going to be a good athlete. Or you said none of that. You just did something really cool. For fuck's sake.
No, totally.
I mean,
yeah.
How has it been navigating some of that? I mean, did you see that coming? Where it was like,
no, I mean, I don't, to be honest, I haven't gotten a ton of like negativity around it.
Right.
Most people are like, that's freaking dope. They're
That's
like,
dope.
That's my bench. That's my squat. Like, what the fuck? Like, some people are like, why? You know, who hurt you? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And again, it's like giving yourself the permission to care about something that it doesn't even really matter what it is, but give yourself permission to try it. Like, I took singing lessons. This is totally random. I've talked about this. I took singing lessons at one point.
I can't believe you just said that.
Dude.
Kelly, I told me and Kelly 3 days ago, I'm not kidding. I said, I've always said if I could learn a skill, it would be to sing. And she was like, why don't you take singing lessons? And I was like, why don't I? My daughter loves to sing. I was like, maybe me and my daughter could do that together.
Yeah, that would be great. I would encourage you to do it without her at first because it is uncomfortable. For me, it was uncomfortable.
Oh, trust me. If it's uncomfortable, I feel like we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah. I mean, I liked singing in the car, in the shower, around people I trust with a random stranger who's a singing coach. And you just go into a place like this and they're like, all right, we're going to warm up. And they start to hit like the Folatida, and they're like, all right, your turn. And you're just there. And you're like,
what do you mean my turn? Cheryl, I'm here because I can't do that. What do you mean?
Yeah. But I was like, oh, this is like someone never worked out before comes to the gym. I'm like,
this is how it feels.
Got it. So that was an interesting thing. But put yourself, I learned a lot from that, from the Turkish Get Up, which I had more kind of background in. So like it was a little bit easier for me to feel confident in those types of lifts. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is like allow yourself to go up to the singing lessons, and not that you're doing this, but do it alone. Because I could see how it'd be easier with your daughter because you're comfortable around her, but try it alone, then get her into the play.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm going to take your advice on that. I am.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll go it alone first.
Nice.
And brave that storm.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, what a gift to allow yourself to have those feelings come up of embarrassment and whatever, if you have the tools, again, to deal with those.
Yeah. Dude, we've got about 15 minutes left. We got some segments. Honestly, I wish we could have had a longer show because I'm having so much fun hanging out with you. But let's transition to these. Our first segment is called 3 Things. Mike, let's say someone listening to this show's really resonated with them, and they can feel, a few of the topics we've touched on have hit home, and they recognize this is an area or aspect of my life, my mindset, my mental performance, my mental emotional side of who I am is something I need and want to prioritize. What are 3 actions, ideas, philosophies, concepts that you would like to impart on that person, or advice you'd like to give for the person standing on the precipice of prioritizing that?
I would say you don't need, if you're interested in that, you've probably listened to a lot of podcasts, maybe read some books. You have some ideas on the things that will resonate with you. Instead of learning more things, and I'll give you some for sure, take the first one that resonates with you today and do that one. Because so often we're waiting for the perfect thing the perfect program, the perfect coach, the perfect whatever that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The only way you learn is through action. So that would
Preach.
be number 1. The values exercise I said was huge. And then we touched on one that I think I've probably said on every podcast I've been on, but it's so important, is the word shoulding. It's so common. Anyone that deals with any type of like stress, anxiety that listen to how often they use the word should. what should we do today? Where should we eat for dinner? What should we watch? What should I wear? Where should we go out? Where should we go on vacation? It's so common, especially if you're consuming things that do not matter to you on the outside. And so if you remove the word should, which is the action, from your vocabulary, you like commit to never saying the word should again, and instead insert the words want or don't want, it gives you the opportunity to take ownership over your language, which then helps you take ownership over your actions and then over your life. Easier said than done. Go with what I would say is the 51%, right? If me and you are deciding what to eat for dinner, I'll ask you, where do you want to go? I'll tell you where I want to go, versus me saying, where should we eat?
Yeah.
You know, it's so much more difficult. When you take that word out, it gives room for compromise.
Yeah.
You want pizza, I want Chinese. Great, we'll go with pizza this time. Maybe next time we can go with Chinese.
Yeah. Instead of you're constantly compromising and never actually being authentic as to what you desire.
Yes, that would be
what a lonely life that could lead. Especially, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts there. And then suddenly you wake up and you're resentful and you drop dead from a heart attack at 45. It's dramatic, but
I mean, it is and it isn't, because that is a lot of times we live because we don't want to disappoint someone.
Yeah.
And we don't have
why I'm so angry all the time. Why am I so
No one gets me.
No one understands me. Why do I feel like no one gets it?
I mean, like
we're joking about this, but
so
someone's
serious.
listening to this and they're like crying in their car on the way home from work. We see you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I've been there.
It will get better.
Yeah.
Take some advice. Take some action.
Yeah. Take the word. That is like, it helps you take that ownership. That is very easy to understand how to do, or that I want to do that, but hard to apply.
Yeah.
And so if you just tell your friends, tell your partner, I'm trying this thing. I heard about it on a podcast. I'm never using the word should. Do you want to do it with me? You can start to develop a relationship where you just hear that word. I mean, for me now, like, it is like screaming. Anytime I hear someone use the word should, I'm just like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But that's super helpful.
People pleasers.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's beyond impactful. And it's simple, which is like most impactful things.
Yeah.
The other one would be, we talked to be shared on it, gratitude. So there's this Institute of Character, the VIA Institute of Character, and they did a study on if you were like a Build-A-Player in Madden, and I could put like any type of characteristic into you to help you live a well life, love, extra hope, extra courage, extra curiosity. Like, what would be the character trait that would increase your overall level of well-being the most? And by far, the trait is gratitude. Like, actually feeling grateful for your life, which is hard to do. It's a practice, like you said. My favorite practice is called the 4 W's. So you write down what went well and why. Going back to the ownership, the why gives you the opportunity to say, I am the captain of my ship. These are the reasons why I'm happy for my life, because the actions I took, like what went well today was my podcast. Why it went well? Because I focused on getting sleep. I did some prep, like, versus I'm grateful for the podcast.
Yeah.
It starts to reinforce the actions that you take lead to your outcomes.
Yeah. God, I love that. That is so simple, but such a mountain. The canyon between just saying I'm grateful for something and realizing all the reasons why it's culminated into that gratitude is tremendous.
Oh, I mean, that's literally where confidence is built. And so often gratitude is like, just, I'm grateful for the sun and like the moon and like my body. And those things are great to be grateful for.
Yeah.
But if you don't put the why behind it, then it doesn't reinforce like that you have agency over where your life can go.
Yeah. God, that's brilliant. That is I don't know where that ranks in terms of the 3 things segments, but I got to say it's up near the top.
Okay.
That was very wonderful. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Next segment is Rant and Rave. This is brought to you by Train Heroic. I use Train Heroic. Zach uses Train Heroic. So many people use Train Heroic now because of this podcast. We love Train Heroic. You can join us if you click on the show notes. Rant and Rave. So, and you know what? This is typically like a fitness question, but maybe let's keep it in your area of expertise here. What are when it comes to the mental performance space, what is one thing that you see, a common thread, theme, message, and you say, I don't love that. I'd like to see less of that. And why? And then on the other end, what is a current message, theme, thread, idea that you love that you wish you could see more of?
Affirmations. Pure affirmations would be one that I would like to see less of. Just talking to the mirror, telling yourself that you are, I guess it depends on what they are, but like that you are an amazing person, that you have a ton of value, that you have whatever, versus doing those things, taking the action behind that.
My sponsor says you gain self-esteem by doing esteemable acts. And that applies to every character trait, right? At least the ones that I would like to see in myself. And frankly, the things I don't want, right?
I mean,
there's an action that precedes the validation and reinforcement of the behavior you want or the one you don't. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
I would say that. Aristotle would say that. Lots of
Aristotle. Shout out Aristotle. Pretty smart guy. And you know what? I bet Aristotle shit his pants once or twice. But anyway.
That's what happens when you're going hard.
It is.
There's casualties to that. But we have the strength to move past it.
We do.
I mean, not to like literally. Like, you're here. We're doing that.
We out here, baby.
Yeah.
Ripping pods, shitting pants.
So that would be one. You know, kind of I want to make things as simple as possible in this space. And so like the other rant, I guess, would be the complexity that comes in when it's like a 10-hour morning routine or all of these things. It's like, it doesn't need to be so hard and so complicated.
God, we could do a whole nother podcast on, I would love, if you'd be willing at some point, I'd love to have you back out when maybe I'm in a better condition and we can actually lift and
there we go.
But I would love to dive into that at some point around what we're being messaged as wellness and sold as being a healthy, happy life if you just do these list of 10,000 things and then what your experience actually shows it is.
Yeah. No,
I would love
100% we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's so damaging too if you have that list in your head of like all of these things that you should do, then and you don't do them.
Yeah.
What you're doing is
You failed.
Exactly. You're lying to yourself. You're building dishonest relationship with yourself. So then it becomes harder to trust the things that come up. And unfortunately, the truths that we have don't like smack us in the face. They're little whispers, just like an injury in your body. Sometimes you get something acute, but often it's slow. And we try to ignore it. We try to put a knee sleeve on. We try to do whatever it is. Versus just listen to it as early as you can, solve it, and then you don't have to deal with it.
I feel personally attacked. Oh, I feel personally attacked. That one was direct shot. I love that. That is me to a T. At least I have the awareness and I can accept that's who I am.
Well, I mean, you're probably
I've gotten better at it.
You're probably okay with the like the perceived outcome of that.
Yep.
You're like, cool, I'm ready to roll the dice on some stuff. And
I am.
like great athletes roll the dice all the freaking time. That is actually being an athlete. You're a great compensator. So just recognizing where you're compensating and if you want to continue to grow, taking those actions against it.
Yeah. Did we do rave? Is that what a rave was? Oh, we did rants. We did 2 rants. Did you do a rave?
I'm just all rants.
No, yeah. More rants.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a theme, thread, idea, concept, message that you're seeing that you're happy about? You're like, yes, let's continue to push this out there.
Yeah, I think there's a couple. It's community is one, and that word I like almost hesitate to say that because it can get convoluted with something that really isn't community, but where people are deeply connecting and having a space to communicate with someone else, I would love to see. I started something at my house 2 years ago that has expanded to people that have come to that and then are doing it in their own groups.
Oh, awesome.
It's a men's group. We call it Emotional Fitness. I smoke 30 pounds of meat, which helps when you want guys to come over to talk about fitness.
It does, yeah. You got to dangle the carrot or the rib, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we all sit around and I pass out a list of 50 feelings and we practice communicating our emotions. Because growing up, I had 3 main emotions: happy, mad, or sad.
Yep.
If I was frustrated with you, angry. If I was disappointed, angry. Basically most things went to angry or mad. I never would. It would crush my ability to communicate.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't give you the chance to actually learn how I truly feel, and then I would just write you off.
Can we talk about the Canon event? At least this was for me. Actually arriving at the place where I was confronted with the truth that I didn't know how to articulate what I was feeling. I literally did not have the ability to identify and name the things I was experiencing. Mm-hmm. I was 26 when I was confronted with, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that realization was, I'm grateful for, and it was very humbling because I thought I knew. I swear to God, when I first got sober, part of the process, I had to write a resentment list. And I bold-faced said, oh, I don't get angry. There are so many things incorrect about that statement. Anger and resentment, while in the same family tree, not the same thing.
Right.
Had never even heard the word resentment before and did not think I had any. Boy, was I fucking wrong. I mean, you know?
Well, if you don't have the language to it, then what are you expected to do? And if
it's like the basketball game we talked about earlier.
Yeah, and if it's reinforced to not communicate in those things, then you're going to double down on that.
Yeah.
So getting back to the community thing, so I wanted to set up an environment to practice that. So each guy gets 2 to 4 minutes to just share, practice, looking at a list saying, I'm not sure what this word means. What does it mean?
God, that's
actually
awesome.
This is actually how I'm feeling. Whatever it may be.
How cool is it to see the light bulb come on in people's faces? They're like, that's what that means?
Oh, dude, it's amazing. I mean, and they don't. We don't give it. It's not like a coaching business thing. It's just like you share for 2 to 4 minutes. I say thanks so much for sharing. Then move to the next guy.
Great.
There's no advice. There's no anything. It's just like
that's awesome.
Share to 25, 30 people. And you get to hear what everyone else is going through. So you really recognize like, oh, we're all just fucking guys.
Yep.
We're all just dudes going through it. It don't matter if you pulled up in a Porsche or you pulled up in this 40-year-old beater car. Like we're all trying.
Yep.
And we all want similar types of things. And life is hard in some ways. And it's also great because now the feelings on the list aren't all negative.
Right.
But I do believe if you don't have the capacity to feel and communicate the negatives, then you also don't genuinely have the capacity to feel or communicate the positives. And you live in this like, you know, on a 1 to 10 scale, this like 4 to 6 range where everything's, it's okay. Yeah, it's good. And then that's a life. And people don't want to live in that space.
No.
So anyway, those guys take that and then they extrapolate it out to some, either their businesses or their own community or in different types of ways. That is something rant or
rave?
That's what I want to rave on.
I love that. Wow. That's fucking awesome. You're doing that. I love this. This is one of my favorite questions. This is brought to you by David Gray Rehab, more specifically the foot, ankle, and Achilles program. I've done it. Zach's done it. Many have done it. Many have bought it. If you use code TIM, you'll get 15% off and lifetime access. The best foot, ankle, and Achilles program on the planet. And that's a fucking fact. So, Mike, if you weren't a coach, what would you be and why?
Everything I'm thinking of right now is kind of related.
It's like a coaching. It's
like an adventure guide.
Still a coach.
Fuck, man. Okay, so I actually started as a teacher. Similar round. What counts?
I think it's safe to say you're doing what you're...
I think
you found your calling. If you everything ends up, it all goes back to being coach.
I mean,
would you be a singer?
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, I'd be a singer.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you off the hook on that one. All right. Next segment: overrated versus underrated. This is similar to rant and rave, with just a little bit of a difference. So, ideas, philosophies, concepts, messages that you feel like are overrated in the mental performance space. Okay, you've already used up mirror affirmations. Okay.
Yeah.
And then a concept, idea, philosophy that's underrated.
Could sound counterintuitive to what I'm saying. There's nuance to everything in life. Too much feelings, emotion, conversation. I live in
Reach.
Boulder, Colorado. Boulder, Colorado has some crunch around it,
Quite a bit.
which it's got a nice range of experiences and people. And when guys specifically find a space where they feel heard, it's usually the first time in a long time, and they're like, "Oh, this is my time. You ready for my feelings?
Yeah.
Here comes 20 years of this.
Yep.
And cool. You can
Hold
share
the
that with
space,
me.
get it out.
Great.
Yep.
Now, if that is how you find your validation of who you are as a human being versus how vulnerable you can be, because it's kind of difficult to be vulnerable with someone and have them just be like, see ya.
Right.
So you're getting attention, which people like.
Yep.
That can be harmful because then you start to reinforce that my connection is based off my vulnerability and my pain.
Yeah.
Where can I find more pain?
Yeah.
I need to find stuff to fuel my
I need to find ways to trauma dump and ensnare people into this toxic feedback loop of making you validate my really sad, sorry, upset feelings.
Yeah, I'm not into that. Not into that.
Yeah. Do you think those people struggle with taking action?
I would believe so. Yeah, I bite my tongue on that one. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So the action
I'll find a way to make it about myself.
I think exactly. Like we can only change things about ourselves so much that it needs to be about something else. So like creating something of value to other people, keyword of value, is important.
Yeah. I fucking love that. It's awesome, man. Okay. Underrated.
Yeah. So in person, people talking to other people. I think everything is, especially in a coaching realm, it can be difficult because you want to grow a business. You want to sustain yourself. You also really give a fuck about people because that's why you're a coach. Not convoluting those two so that you move away from actually being able to deeply engage to a screen, only a screen. So having options for all of it, I think, is what I like to see more of.
Awesome. Okay, last question. This is brought to you by Eleiko. I still can't believe they sponsor our podcast. That's insane. It's right. Everybody says the same thing. They're like, what, dude? I'm like, I know. Use CoachEmUp10 and save 10% off everything that you can find on the link in the show notes. We are, and I'm not kidding, the only discount code that Eleiko offers. Full stop. Incredibly honored for that to be the case. But if you want to use the Porsche of lifting and strength equipment, use our link, save 10%. This next segment is called Unsolicited, Solicited Advice. So, you walked over here, right? When we part ways, you're going to leave the space and you're going to trudge the road to happy destiny back to your room. And along the way, you're going to get stopped at a sidewalk and you're going to be patiently waiting for the walking light to show up. Someone's standing next to you. And for whatever reason, you feel absolutely compelled, driven. You have to share a piece of advice, unsolicited advice, to the person standing next to you. If you could give anyone, a total stranger, a piece of advice, what would that advice be?
So I'll play off the stranger thing. When people feel like their world is a positive or negative space, that's usually the people that are around them. And those people could be their family, their colleagues, their friends. But it's been shown through a couple different studies that talking to strangers is tremendously important with how you see the world around you. And that's a skill that I would encourage this stranger to do more of.
Wow.
Talk more to real people in the real world versus getting like a slow drip of that connection through a screen, because then that's how you start to see the world, is through what you see on the screen.
Totally.
So talking to more strangers, that's like a huge life hack. And an easy way to do that too, because it can be difficult to just like, hey,
Right.
you get that same butterfly singing kind of feeling. Compliments. Who doesn't like to hear a compliment?
Yeah, a little bit of flattery goes a long way.
And it teaches you to walk around in the world and look for things that light
Good in
you up.
people.
Like, I'm looking for shit that I like. Oh, there's worse ways to walk.
Yes,
down
there
the street.
is, dude. Yeah.
And then you just tell them about them. Hey, what are these, mucks?
Yeah.
I like your mucks.
Those mucks are fucking sick,
Yeah,
dude.
I bet those are
Thanks,
comfy.
bro. Yeah, they were great. I was wearing them when I was shitting my pants. I love that, man. So great. What a wonderful perspective, too. Mike, dude, we've crushed this time. It's not just lip service. I would absolutely love to have you back at some point in time. If you've got an awesome trip planned in the future, just text me.
Okay, on it.
There are so many other things that I think that we can discuss in addition to how wonderful this show has been. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Where can people find you and connect with you, work with you?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. This has been awesome. Would love to train and come back on. But my website is theoffense.co. My Instagram is mike.aidala. Those are probably the easiest spots.
Cool. Hey, for everyone who's made it this far on the show, we've been through a lot together today. It's been a real roller coaster of experiences and emotions. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to the show, supporting the show. Subscribe. Don't live that non-subscriber life, and we appreciate you no matter what. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.